Hi guys, my name is Emily DeSimone, and here with me today I have the director of Escalation, Christian Bikini. Christian, how are you today?
Hey, hi Emily. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm doing great. I'm streaming from Italy right now, so it's 2 a.m. It's kind of late, but I consider myself a vampire, so for me, it's not that late. Actually, that's the time of the day that I kind of wake up. So all
Well,
good.
then good morning. So, Christian, would you like to tell our live viewers a bit about the film?
Oh, well, yes. Escalation can be summarized, as many people defined it, like a sort of like a Evil Dead 2 on steroids. That's the easier definition. Some people call it like Evil Dead meets the Raid, in the sense that it's like I cannot give away too much of the story because it's quite unique, and I don't want to spoil the surprises and the twist that the movie holds for the audience. But it's like very gory. There is some dark comedy going on. It's like an escalation into the madness of the main character that is alone at home, watching a horror movie on TV, and some weird stuff start happening to him until there is like some sort of escalation of violence, so to speak. Then it's like a little bit of homage to Bruce Campbell, the Evil Dead 2 movies, and is mixed with a little bit of action flavor because I was working in China for 12 years as a martial art fight choreographer, action director. So that also transpires in the violent scenes. That's why people say it's like Evil Dead meets The Raid. There is no fight scene. It's just this guy fighting against himself, so to speak. So whoever is a gore hound or love violent movies, horror movies, crazy shit, as I used to say. Sorry if I curse. I'm from Italy. I cannot help it. We can bleep it later on. So some crazy shit going down, and I'm sure the audience is gonna love it. I hope. If they don't, they have to love it anyway. You're gonna punch them in the faces.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So,
Blow escalation, bam. No, I'm joking. I'm actually a guy. I'm joking. Just making stupid jokes.
you're fine. So, what would you say inspired the writing for Escalation?
The Ryan Escalation, that's actually a very fun story. Okay, Escalation was born as a feature film, first of all. It was supposed to be my feature film debut when I was still in China. I was still living in Shanghai. Obviously, with my funding and, in a place where horror is censored, you cannot go on theaters, horror movies, they don't exist in the mainland China. They're not allowed. So I couldn't get it done. I couldn't find funding. So I decided to, before leaving Asia for good, I decided to just leave the past behind and move on to the West. I made into a short film. And the origin is of the whole story of the feature that then is also incorporated in the short film, which is just 60 minutes, is that a producer pissed me off because I help a lot of people making their own movies. And when it came the time to help me, say, okay, guys, now I helped you many times for free. I did stunt, got injured for nothing at all. Can you help me doing my stuff? Give me some equipment, suggest some names. And everybody was like, what the fuck do you know? You're just like an action director. You do action. You don't know anything about storytelling or acting. Shut the fuck up. So I went back home very disappointed. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to pretend that the main character of this story that I have to create is the producer. And I'm going to fucking destroy the guy, torture him, making him suffer like living hell. And that was what made Escalation. So it talks about like a bad guy that gets his due for being like a toxic person. So it's very funny. And when the feature film is going to come out, I'm going to contact the producer, send him like a Blu-ray copy with my signature on and say, this is you, motherfucker. That's you inspiring this movie, and hope that never happens to you. But I won't be sorry if it does.
So, wait, so you're telling me that this is like there's a future of this being a feature film? Is this
Oh
like
yeah,
a
definitely. It was always envisioned as a feature. I even tried to shoot the feature, but
concept?
after I reached 40 minutes length with my own funding and savings, I couldn't make it. So I just stopped
Right.
shooting and rewrote it as a short film and made it. So yes, it's gonna become a feature film eventually in the future.
Awesome. Well, best of luck with that. So,
Oh,
so
thank
with
you.
that said, though, when did you film Escalation?
Basically, Escalation was done at the end of 2021, and that's when it began is like also run at festival worldwide. So it's quite a recent project. So, and I'm happy to say that within a year from his release, he has found like a lot of success, a lot of like good reviews, and people seem to be loving it. So definitely it's going to lead up to like bigger projects, and yeah, the feature film version, which is going to be even more gorier and crazier. And yeah, I'm looking forward to shock people. Now there are movies that are going around like Terrifier 2. People say, oh, they keep the throne, they take the throne of like gore horror. Once Escalation, the future will be done, plus another project that I'm also working on. Yes, probably for people to take away the throne of the gore master from my end is going to take them a long time. It's going to be gory as hell.
And so, did you run into any COVID restrictions upon filming? Because you're saying you did this late 2021.
Yes, I mean, actually, COVID, yeah, hit as I was starting shooting in Shanghai. So it was like there was the lockdown going on. So it wasn't easy. As many filmmakers, we face a lot of challenges. My way of solving it was like telling the crew, like, you guys, you're not allowed to leave. Luckily, it was shot inside one location, this empty mansion that I did the art direction and created this whole environment for the main character. Said, you're not leaving. You're not leaving. I'm gonna chain you to this location, and you're gonna hide inside this location for as much as it takes to make the short done. Then some people, because it took me a long time to shoot, I'm a perfectionist. It took me like 30 days, a whole month to make the short film. And you're like, this guy's crazy. Why short film has to be looking so good? Doesn't make sense. We want to leave. So I lost the camera operator. I lost the first gaffer. So they were allowed to leave secretly from the back door. Like, don't let people see you because you're supposed to be in lockdown. And then I would call some other friends, please show up at night when it's 3 a.m. Nobody sees you. Sneak in the location and we finish it. So yeah, COVID, it's okay. The more challenge you meet, the best is going to be the outcome and the most pleasure you're going to feel when the project is successful. So that's just how I faced it.
I mean, I would say it's a success so far. You've already been accepted to at least the Garden State Film Festival. I mean,
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
and like with that, what is it that you want your audience to take away from Escalation?
As escalation comes from this problem with this producer or people not helping you back and challenges during the shooting. Obviously, it's a very ambitious project. So I think people, when they see the movie, they think a lot of money went behind it. Like, this looks like a big budget feature film also, almost. So, and instead it was hard to shoot. Didn't have much budget, a lot of challenges. I did everything myself on set because, as I said, people kept leaving. Even the makeup artist, the practical effect person decided not to help me because she said I didn't have enough money, not the right props. So she refused to help me doing the practical effects. I had to finish the movie on my own, making all the gore effects. So I just want, and when I tell this story to people, I just want whoever is watching, filmmakers or any artist, people that want to be writers, painters, any kind of artist. I just want them to take away the message that as long as you believe in the project and you believe in yourself, don't let anything discourage you. Just go for it. Try to achieve the best, no compromises. It may take you 2 years, 3 years. You may have to sell your freaking car, whatever you have to do, get that done. If you believe in your art, get that done, and you will be successful and people will love what you do. At least, even if you fail, you had tried. Many people don't even try. So that's the main thing that I want to kind of teach people. Just go for it. Just fucking go for it. Never worry. Go for it.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket.
Oh, yes, exactly. You just have to take the step. Some people, I had some friends like this in Italy, especially even when I was living in Asia. Like, oh, yes, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And they write like 10 different scripts. And then like, oh, I want to make this. And then like, okay, are we doing this? Are we going to do this? Like, my girlfriend, she want me to go on holiday with her for a month. Like, oh, like I don't really want to living with my parents and move to another place where, in Rome, when the movie are made, I just gonna stay in my hometown. Like, dude, that shut the fuck up. If you're never gonna take the steps toward your art, don't make me lose time listening to your dreams. Some people, they just talk the big game and instead they choose safety or like quiet life. And then they complain like, oh, I didn't make it. Life is so freaking hard. You didn't try. That's all, dude.
I mean, absolutely. So with that said, it sounds like you have a decent amount of experience in this industry. Can you tell me and our live viewers a bit about your experience in this industry?
I would say another thing that I want people to kind of understand, there is this belief when it comes to movie industry everywhere. And that, become a filmmaker, a film director, an actor is hard, is almost impossible. There is this evil team or family, or almost like a mafia family that keeps, the gatekeepers, they call them here in America, I think, that keep everything closed so you're not gonna get in. Everybody has this idea. Even before moving to Asia, everybody was like, why are you going there? You're like a foreigner. They want to do martial art movies. Nobody's going to allow you to do that and kick their asses in their own films. And I'm like, don't worry about this crap. This is just bullshit, made up ideas that don't exist. If you show that you are willing to put in the work, and obviously, if you're honest with yourself, if you recognize you have talent, you have something to offer. Because filmmaking is always like offering the audience, offering the producer something they can take away. Producer, they want to make money. The audience want to go back home remembering something from the movie, learning something, or simply having fun. As long as you can offer something and you work hard, you will make it. That's the thing that I can say. Working in Asia wasn't easy. The first time you start doing like fight choreography, people look at you like, we've been training Kung Fu since we were like 7 or 8. Our Kung Fu is the best. We have the best action stars in the world. Who is this foreign dude that want to make movie with us? Obviously, you face this at the beginning. I faced that. But after they see you on set and you're like hard worker, you get hit, you bleed, and you don't care. You just keep going. Yeah, guys, again, respect is like automatically coming towards you. So I just, my experience is that you can make anything happen. If you believe that it will happen, as long as you believe it and you believe in yourself, movie industry is not a crazy hell circle as people think it is. So this is my personal experiences, and I came away from China satisfied. Did my choreography, work in movies, acted in films, learned a lot of things, and now I'm doing the same here back in the West. So people, filmmakers, go for it. Try, never worry.
I mean, it sounds like you are like super into you keep mentioning martial arts. I
Mhm.
mean, so like, can you tell me a bit about what your background is in martial
Uh,
arts?
I before deciding to be a filmmaker, or almost at the same time, let's say when I was like I think 5 or 6, I saw a Jackie Chan movie. I always love horror films to begin with, and action movies. Die Hard, Commando, Schwarzenegger, Stallone. I love them. And the spaghetti western from Italy, Sergio Leone, Fistful of Dollars, Clint Eastwood. I love all those things. But then one day I was 6 and I saw a Jackie Chan movie called Super Cop. In America, it's called Super Cop. It's Police Story Part 3. And I saw this guy like hanging from helicopters, fighting on top of speeding trains, throwing these fancy kicks. And I was a guy that hated sports. I hated swimming, basketball, soccer. They all sucked to me. Like, what's the fun in doing these things? I couldn't understand. My parents tried to make me, train, be healthy. I hated them. I faked like stomach aches just to get off the freaking swimming session, the swimming pool. But then I saw Jackie Chan, and I'm like, oh, wow, this stuff is cool. And I decided to start training martial arts, and I started when I was around like 8 years old. And as soon as I got into my first dojo, like, wow, for the first time, I'm good at something, and I like it. And then when also came the idea of making movies, I was just a kid. So, kids dream about like big stuff. They want to be astronauts, they want to be spies and stuff. And I was like, I want to be like Jackie Chan. I want to just hang on speeding cars, jump off helicopters, and kick people's asses. And so I trained until I was like 23. I became an athlete. I did the competition, obviously, studied acting, whatever, started doing my own movies with my small like DV cameras with my dad and my friends. And when I was around like 22, 23, I just left for China, bought the ticket, left for China and tried my luck. I also injured my knee. I broke an ACL. Again, to say people always believe in yourself. Just like 2 weeks before moving to China, trying my luck, I broke my ACL. Basically, the ACL makes without that your knee twists, so it can break very easily. So for athletes, it's like the most devastating injury. And the doctor said you cannot go, you cannot practice, you cannot throw kicks. I'm like, don't worry, let me go first. I'm not gonna throw away the money for the ticket. I worked 2 years as a martial art instructor just to earn that money to buy myself the ticket. I'm going. And the first year I worked hard. After 1 year, I broke my knee on set because I pushed too hard. And then when I gained the respect, and they gave me the nickname Kang, which in Chinese it means like to counter and resist, fight against the odds. And so that was, so from an injury, it actually ended up being quite a lucky thing to happen for me. So
It
that's my.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been having some wild, like, roller coaster, like, exciting, like, times these past couple of
Yes,
years.
you cannot even imagine.
All
Yes,
these
I
different,
got on a movie set. I got stabbed, multiple parts of my body. I got thrown out of a speeding car because I lost my grip on the hood of the car.
Mhm.
Yes, some crazy stuff. My parents, they don't know anything about this. They,
It's so
the movies they not always get released in the West because they're Chinese. So sometimes I show them some scene, sometimes I didn't. So they didn't know about all the injuries.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Cool.
I have some wild stories to tell.
Oh, Christian, as much as I would love to take more time to hear about all these wild stories, we're just about at time. So it has been such a pleasure speaking with you today. I so look forward to meeting you in person. You guys, you can see the film Escalation on Saturday, March 25th at Asbury Lanes from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can buy tickets at the Garden State Film Festival, gsff.org/tickets. Christian, thank you again so much. Good morning. I hope you have a
Thank
great
you.
rest of the
Thank you,
day.
Emily, for having me. It was a pleasure. Bye. Thank you.